Well, you've all witnessed today the submission of expression of interest for the office of the Speaker of the 12th Parliament of Uganda. That has been done very successfully this morning, and we've been given guidelines, as you've heard and you saw, which guidelines I need time now to go and study them and be a better candidate first in the NRM primaries to get the candidate for NRM to compete for the speakership. So at this point, it would not be necessary for me to pledge anything but patience, actually strategic patience, until the time comes when God will do what He's able to do. And I want to thank you for your kind patience.
Well, but I see you came with
So order of who should come when.
But I asked him for a lift, he refused. They said this guy is we never came
So,
and yes, keep that for next time.
Please.
I'd feel, you know.
Kati n'okuwanika musango. Charles.
Hello, please.
Jadia.
Members of the press move a little. Take seats, please. We are a very organized community here. You are most welcome. You are most welcome, honorable. Members of the press, these are aspirants. Don't risk their life. They might not qualify to be candidates. So don't please tempt them.
Thank you very much. Notice is hereby given that the members of the 12th Parliament of the NRM who wish to contest for position of Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the 12th Parliament must abide and follow this roadmap. 1. All eligible members are invited to express their interests to contest for the position of Speaker and Deputy Speaker of Parliament beginning today up to 7 p.m. And this expression of interest will continue up to 23rd May, that's tomorrow, Saturday, at 3 p.m. The expression of interest starts today up to 7 p.m. today and will again start from 8 up to 3 p.m. tomorrow. The Central Executive Committee shall discuss the names that the Electoral Commission will forward to them on Sunday. The 24th at 9 a.m. The members of the NRM caucus shall convene on the 24th May 2024 at 2 p.m. at State House, Entebbe, to receive the names recommended by SEC, because elections for Speaker will take place on Monday, the 25th. So all eligible members of NRM who wish to express interest for position of Speaker and Deputy Speaker are hereby informed that they should express interest to the Chairman NRM Electoral Commission, handwritten letter or typed with a CV, beginning today at the time of this press conference. Today we shall run up to 7, and again we shall start business tomorrow 8 up to 3 p.m. The names that shall have qualified or who have expressed interest will then be compiled and presented to SEC on Sunday, the 24th at 9 a.m. The names SEC will vet and approve will be sent to the caucus, which will sit on Sunday, the 24th at 2 p.m. at State House, Entebbe. So anyone who wants to express interest has now the right to come and express that interest. Why? Who are eligible? All NRM members of the 12th Parliament, all NRM members, there are 372 NRM members, all of them qualify to be voters. The NRM-leaning independents are not voters. NRM-leaning independents are not voters. Voters are all NRM flag bearers who are now in the Parliament. The flag bearers, MPs who are flag bearers, are the voters. Number 2, they should be Ugandan. They should avoid the following. They should avoid the following illegal practices: campaigning or canvassing for votes. SEC has, with immediate effect, stopped any person who wants to be a speaker or deputy speaker from campaigning. Whatever kind of campaign, if you are good campaigning and there's the videos or recordings to your campaign, you will be disqualified. No campaigning to be a speaker. Number 2, bribery is forbidden. No paying people. No paying anyone any money. Even here, expression of interest, we have no money to pay. They are not going to pay money to express interest. It has been removed. Procuring ineligible persons to vote. If we go to Entebbe and you get people who are not supposed to be voters to vote for you, you will be crossed off. Say you bring independents who should be observers to vote for you, you will be disqualified. Publication of false statement about others. If you, for example, go and talk about someone that person is sick, that person died, that person withdrew without proof, you will be disqualified. Members are called upon to conduct themselves in a respectable manner and avoid unbecoming behavior like heckling, shouting throughout the electoral process. When we convene on Sunday, we shall issue very tight guidelines. You come to vote, you don't heckle, you leave people talk and you listen. For emphasis, the illegal practices as spelled out in the Parliamentary Elections Act apply. This was approved by SEC today for this election. SEC has not endorsed anybody for Speaker and Deputy Speaker. That's why we are calling for expression of interest. That's why we are calling for expression of interest. SEC withdrew, actually rescinded the decision it had made earlier about Right Honorable Anita Mong and Tayebwa as the names to be forwarded to caucus, on grounds that the Right Honorable Anita Mong has written to SEC and the chairman of SEC saying she has withdrawn, she has no interest to run for Speaker. Once she has no interest to run for Speaker, SEC now recommended that the whole process starts. SEC also noted that there had been a bit of, we didn't follow all the guidelines. SEC had not followed the guidelines like expression of interest. So because of that, SEC has now allowed that the process starts afresh and everyone eligible can come and express interest. About SEC endorsing candidates, SEC has no candidate to endorse because nobody has expressed interest. People are just going to express interest tomorrow, and from there we shall take the names to SEC. Yes? I was called to a party to eat at my sister's place, and I was very happy. So my jubilation, like other jubilation, is just a result of a party. But the real procedure starts now. All those who want to be SEC candidates should appear here tomorrow to express interest. For UBC, can I rewind this quickly? Can you set and rewind? For all those who want to be speaker or deputy speaker, please, the time is now. Yes. Honorable Mao is the President General of DP. He does not belong to NRM. So even by the regulation I've read, that voters, like candidates, must be members of NRM. He does not qualify. Can I read the regulation again? For Speaker of the 12th Parliament, as well as Deputy Speaker of 12th Parliament, one must be a member of NRM, voted, a flag bearer voted as NRM in the 12th Parliament. The voters are also NRM MPs. So Honorable Mao can have MOU with us, but cannot participate, cannot be an issue in the NRM caucus. If he's invited to attend the caucus, that is his privilege, or he will be lucky to be invited. But even when he comes, he cannot offer himself as a candidate because the caucus we are calling on Sunday the 24th is an elective caucus. It is for election. It is not for discussing PDM. The caucus is not for discussing roads. It is simply for the purpose of elections. Yes?
Have heard that there was no quorum in SEC, that some members were not there, like the current Speaker of Parliament, who is the Vice Chairman of the party, female. So we'd like to know whether there was...
The quorum of SEC is raised when we are 23. Okay? We are 23. 22 members were in SEC. One member was not there. The Right Honourable Anita Mong wrote a letter. She's not feeling well, and the letter was ready to SEC. That she's not able because she was not feeling well. So that letter was read to SEC, and SEC proceeded. But quorum was there. We had a quorum. Yes?
Mr. Chairman, my name is and my question is, recently we saw you function, anything you can call it that you have been called it for.
Yes.
But we saw you acting. It's as if you are showing that something has been done.
Ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of this press conference is for the NRM fraternity in Parliament to listen and abide by it. If there was any party anywhere, I have no right to stop people from having political parties or parties for birthday. I'm now saying the NRM party has no candidate yet. We are calling for expression of interest for two positions, Speaker and Deputy Speaker. We are calling for expression of interest, and it starts now. Expression of interest for Speaker and Deputy Speaker starts now. It will go on today up to 7 p.m. and it will again continue tomorrow, the 23rd. Is that so? Tomorrow, the 23rd, it will continue up to 3 p.m. Thereafter, we shall compile all the names of those who will have applied, who will have expressed interest, and we forward them to the Central Executive Committee meeting of Sunday at 9 o'clock for vetting. After vetting, the outcome of the vetting will be presented to the caucus at 2 p.m. on Sunday. And therein, we shall have the flag bearers who will compete on Monday with other political parties. Because I saw Noob bringing Honorable Mwiru. Now, NRM will bring its candidate on Sunday. After that election of caucus on Sunday, we shall then know who the candidates are who will have won.
One of the data that was raised that day will show that the chairman of the party had endorsed Honorable Oboth. Are you trying to waste those honorables?
Ladies and gentlemen, the person who read that letter was not me. Anything to do with the NRM elections should be either me or the vice or the commissioners of NRM. I don't think in the Mukono meeting the chairman of NRM read any letter calling someone a candidate. If there's anyone who said anything, it was not from us. Now we are now showing you that the party has just had a meeting. The roadmap is now out. All those who are interested to express interest for the position of Speaker and Deputy Speaker are welcome. You must bring here a letter written to the Chairman NRM Electoral Commission expressing interest for that position of your choice. Number 2, you must also accompany that letter with a detailed CV. The CVs will then be compiled and presented to SEC on Sunday. Expression of interest starts today after this press conference up to 7 o'clock today. Then it will continue on Saturday from 8 to 3 p.m. At 3 p.m. we shall close, and members of the press, you are welcome here again to tell you the number of people who will have expressed interest. After that, we shall then forward those names and their CVs to SEC, which will sit on Sunday the 24th at 9 a.m. That SEC at 9 a.m. will vet the candidates for Speaker and Deputy Speaker and forward the recommended names to the caucus at 2 p.m. The caucus will then make its input by agreeing or disagreeing, and if they agree, the two names will then be forwarded to Parliament for election of Monday to compete with others like Honorable Mao, Robert Mao, Honorable Paul Mwiru, and others that other political parties will front.
Whereas maybe your communication with the fact that maybe because for the past 3 days there has been some fights on the road that the party is endorsing Honorable Oboth.
The party is now talking.
Can we presume maybe they didn't meet the exact qualification?
Ladies and gentlemen, I have never addressed a press conference before. I'm now addressing a press conference. That the NRM Electoral Commission now hereby releases a political roadmap.
Were there queries on their qualification, like maybe competence, corruption, and other related issues?
We have not had any candidates because we had not called for expression of interest. All that you are hearing in the streets and celebrating in Mukono were a result of excitement by other political players. But the NRM now as a party, through the NRM Electoral Commission, using the rules and regulations of the caucus, is now calling for expression of interest. Beginning now for position of Speaker and Deputy Speaker.
Where does this leave the pressure?
I'm not a spokesperson of the pressure group called PLU. And I said it, UBC covered me very well, and the NBS. I said NRM has spokespersons. The Electoral Commission has a chairman who is me. I had not called for expression of interest. I'm now calling for expression of interest. And all those who qualify to express interest for the 12th Parliament for the positions of Speaker and Deputy Speaker are now welcome. Come express interest by writing to the Chairman NRM Electoral Commission. Attach your detailed CV. You are not paying even 1 shilling. Present the letter to us beginning now and ending at 7 today, and starting tomorrow at 8 up to 3 p.m. After that, we shall compile all that has come, all the names of those who will have shown interest, and we'll present to SEC on Sunday, the 24th, at 9 a.m. at State House Entebbe. After that, when SEC has vetted, the names will be given to the NRM Electoral Commission to present to the caucus. Once there are 2 or more, the caucus must vote. Even if one is unopposed, the caucus will still vote by show of hands, because it is supposed to be like that. And once the caucus says these are the approved names, we shall then, the Secretary General will then write to Parliament of Uganda that the following are the 2 flag bearers from the party for the position of Speaker and Deputy Speaker. That is the process. What have we condemned? No campaigns. Express interest, go home. No bribery. We get you bribing, we disqualify you. If we have evidence you had bribes, you had a lot of money, you are giving people, you collect people in some hotel, and we have evidence, on Sunday we shall disqualify such a person. Because the speakership now should go to the level of being dragged than campaigns. The SEC met today, and SEC was very, very firm on indiscipline. So SEC has reiterated the position of the law, and we have started the process. About anyone who presented a candidate, sorry, I was not the one. I'm now presenting the right course. Thank you.
Maybe in the press conference held by Mr. Mao, he called you hyenas who are going after his meat. The lion who has been going after.
You want me to discuss Mao here?
No.
In the press conference? I think that's for another day. Any question? Thank you.
Our viewers would want to know, we understood there was a second today. They have already got the idea of what you are communicating. If you can just be brief within 1 minute.
Thank you.
Who attended this SEC? Who chaired
The SEC meeting was called, the SEC meeting is called the fifth Central Executive Committee meeting, called by the chairman of SEC, who is none other than the President of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The SEC is constituted by SEC vice chairpersons. The first national vice chairperson attended, Alhaji Moses Chigongo. The second national vice chairperson sent apology. The letter was read to SEC, indicating that she is not able because she is indisposed. And that apology was received and accepted. The other regional vice chairpersons of all the 6 regions attended. The league chairpersons of all the leagues attended. The chairperson of NRM Electoral Commission, who is a member of SEC, attended. The Secretary General, the Deputy National Treasurer, and the National Treasurer all attended as members of SEC. The Deputy Secretary General also attended. So in total, we had a quorum of 23 members. Other members who attended are the guests of the chairman of SEC. The former vice president, or the current, the vice president, the prime minister, and even the deputy speaker, Right Honorable Tayebwa, attended. So SEC was fully constituted. Now, what did SEC resolve? SEC resolved that since the Right Honorable Anita Annette Among had withdrawn from the race and had written to the chairman of the party a letter which was read to SEC, there was need to start the process afresh. So SEC rescinded its earlier decision, its earlier recommendation of Right Honorable Anita Among and Right Honorable Tayebwa. It rescinded and said, let's start the process afresh by calling for expression of interest. That means Honorable Tayebwa is free to apply because he has not expressed unwillingness to continue. And other members are also willing or free to come in. The Right Honorable Minister Oboth and others who are interested, so long as they are NRM and they are members of the 12th Parliament. SEC also resolved that this process should take a short time. From today up to 7, expression of interest starts. Tomorrow at 8, we shall be here to receive any of them who comes, up to 3 p.m. We shall then compile the list and present the detailed list of their CVs to SEC on Sunday, at 2 p.m. I mean at 9 a.m. After that, once SEC recommends, then we shall take the same name SEC recommends to the caucus, which is for election at State House Entebbe on Sunday the 24th at 2 p.m. Once we get the flag bearer for Speaker and Deputy Speaker, we shall then be ready for Monday, election of Speaker and Deputy Speaker, wherever Parliament will convene. I submit. Yes, the Right Honourable Anita Mong put it in writing that she is no longer interested in contesting for Speaker of Parliament and will support a position, any of the candidates that SEC will have recommended. She will even lead as a front runner in campaigning for that candidate. And the chairman of the party who received the letter even told us he had already replied the letter, thanking her for that decision and vowing to work with her since she is still the second national vice chairperson of the party.
What does this resolution entail in terms of where does the position of PLU, which works closely with NRA, which have already got 2 candidates for the state now?
Well, PLU is a pressure group. It's not a political party. It's a pressure group and not a political. And I want to clarify this. Members of PLU are members of NRM. They're just a pressure group within NRM. I was seeing some people saying PLU has taken over NRM. The NRM is shared as a political party by His Excellency Yoweri Museveni. The NRM has 372 flag bearer MPs in Parliament. When we finished the election, about 187 people said elections were not free and fair. They went independent. Only 42 managed to make it. And they are independent leaning, NRM independent leaning. So the PLOU is a pressure group like any other pressure group, which finds that the party should do this or which lays pressure on the party. So according to what I know, the PLOU is not a political party, and we are moving on. No candidate is allowed to campaign. No candidate is allowed to bribe voters. No candidate is allowed to even collect a meeting of NRM MPs anywhere. And once we get that candidate or that aspirant, that is for automatic disqualification. Once we get evidence which we can actually legally defend, that this person has collected people, has given money, has done this, in the space of time we have, that person shall be disqualified.
Are they allowed to be accompanied by members of Parliament when they come to this?
Well, I cannot stop them from coming to protect and present, but I don't want them to be seen as campaigning. So if they come here tomorrow, they should not come here with the loudspeakers. They should not come here with the music blaring everywhere. They should not come here with a band or procession. But they can come early and receive the person they want. But we don't want anyone to think I'm disadvantaged by this person coming with a full brigade of people. If they come early to receive, this is their home. I cannot deny them. But what we don't want is that paraphernalia, which actually disadvantages other people. That you come with convoy, you come with band, we come. NRM is going back to what the movement was at foundation. To talk about what we want to do, why we want to do it. How to do it and who to do it will be always decided in a process which is not tainted with a lot of fun.
What kind of candidates do you want to present at Kololo Monday?
The moment the party says the following aspirants are the candidates, those are the ones which are presented in Kololo. They must be people with a very good legal background. They must be people who belong to the party called NRM, who are voted on the ticket of NRM, and who are current members of the 12th Parliament. And to us, that's satisfying enough. If you're a member of the Democratic Party, if you are a member of the National Unity Platform, or FDC, or PPF, we can't block you from participating. Let's meet on Monday after we have got our candidate and we tussle it out in Kololo or wherever Parliament will convene. A matter of this business of talking a lot and addressing the press conference as if you belong to NRM should stop. There's no payment of expression of interest fee because this is an impromptu. And we want also to eliminate the position of money in the party. The SEC wants to eliminate the position of money in all its activities. So there's no payment. Who are you? You're a candidate. Dress well, write expression of interest and bring. But make sure you're a member of NRM and you are part of the 12th Parliament. If you have signed an MOU with NRM, that MOU can serve in another situation. But for this one, we want pure NRM. He can write to the party chairman to be a member of the caucus tomorrow or an observer. But we cannot say he's our candidate tomorrow because he belongs to the Democratic Party and is the President General of the party. But if he wants to cooperate at corporation level, iPod level, he's welcome. With those brilliant ideas, I think Mao is welcome. But for the Speaker, NRM will make its own choice. It's better to have your own child than a borrowed child. Thank you.